Hello YouTube and welcome back to another first and last review with me. I am Davros and I am a Whovian. So, this first and last review is of course on the Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, 2005. So, after 16 years off screen and the 90s not having Doctor Who, except for one night only in 1996, my generation and many others to come were finally introduced to Doctor Who in 2005. And sometime after the 40th anniversary celebrations, it was rumoured that in 2004, excuse that noise outside, that's the dog barking, someone's at the door. But as I was saying, it was rumoured in 2004 that Russell T Davies would be bringing back Doctor Who, and those rumours turned out to be true. And then in the spring of 2005, Doctor Who returned to our screens with Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor and Billie Piper as Rose Tyler, the companion. And this, I mean, even though the TV movie was my first taste of Doctor Who, but as I was only 5 and I had very little memory of it apart from the regeneration scene, I would say Christopher Eccleston was my first official Doctor. I thought he was great. He had a northern accent. Yeah, he also had like a black leather jacket and was the first Doctor of its revival. So Rose, in this one we mainly focus on, well, Rose, as the episode's called, Rose. Basically, Rose represents us, the humans, and to us, we too are getting welcomed into this world and this whole universe. Also, we have Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor, a strange being who at the time I knew very little of, and that. So for me, this was like thinking, okay, who's this man? He's the Doctor and that, but I mean, why do they keep changing actors? Does he turn into a different person every 100 years or so or something? I didn't know. So to me, this was a completely new TV show that I'd never seen before. I mean, I knew about time travel and stuff and that, but I never actually had seen anything like this Doctor Who. It was amazing. When we first saw the TARDIS, I was amazed by that. In fact, I'm onto the likes here. I like the TARDIS and that. How she stepped into a police box, then it's not a police box, it's an alien time ship. And yeah, it was amazing for me. I also like the Autons, and I found out that the Autons were actually a classic monster that first appeared in the Third Doctor era, but for me as a first time viewer of Doctor Who, I thought, I didn't think they were scary, but I thought, oh, they're like window shop dummies and that, and stuff. Also, yeah, it was just mind-boggling for me at the time. I mean, I was 14 going on 15, and even then I just thought it was amazing. It was, well, like the Doctor says, fantastic. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I remember 2005, I was sat in that night, I was sat out in my living room and my eyes were just glued to the screen. I never took my eyes off it, and I remember watching it right from the start to the end. I'm thinking, when it ended, I was like, oh, what's the next episode going to be? And we got a preview of it. So I thought, this is amazing. I'm going to have to watch the next episode. And I did. So yes, Doctor Who Rose. My first official Doctor Who episode that I ever watched properly. And the Ninth Doctor, even though he was in he could have been in a post-regeneration state, because he did look in the mirror and go, ooh, look at the ears. So looking at that now, I would say he definitely it was definitely his post-regeneration state from the War Doctor. In fact, Russell T Davies was going to write something in there about a regeneration, but he didn't. And that's so. Yes. But yeah, Doctor Who Rose. My final thoughts and ratings. I thought it was a great start for like both us, the viewers, and the companion and the Doctor and all that. And from then on, I sort of became a Whovian. Not a full Whovian yet, but I still was getting to, like the viewers and everyone, still getting to know him a bit more. But yes, Doctor Who Rose, best season premiere of, well, great way to start series one. And that's, well, series one, or if you want to, or classic era, it's technically season 27. But anyway, yeah, Doctor Who Rose, I thought it was entertaining. I thought Russell T Davies did a good job writing this one. I love Christopher Eccleston and Billie Piper's performance in this. And for me, this is no hard rating. I'm going to give Doctor Who Rose a 5 out of 5. So, time for the last review from the Ninth Doctor. And of course, it's the two-part story, Bad Wolf and the Parting of the Ways. Let's do it. Okay, now for the last review. Now, excuse the noise out there if you can hear anything. So, for the Ninth Doctor's last adventure, it was a two-parter. The, Bad Wolf and the Parting of the Ways. So, in the Parting of the Ways, in this two-parter, in the first part, our heroes, the Doctor, Rose and Captain Jack Harkness, are in the biggest reality shows of what were on the TV at the time. The Doctor is in Big Brother, and Captain Jack is on What Not to Wear, and Rose is on The Weakest Link in the year 200-100, or 200,100. About 100 years before, the Doctor was there with Rose on Satellite 5, which was another episode which... it was another episode. The only thing that's irrelevant to it was that it's in the same satellite and that. So the Doctor, after managing to get out of Big Brother, discovers that he's on Satellite 5 again. He must also find a way to save Rose and Captain Jack. Of course, upon that stopping the game shows and that from killing people, well, the Doctor discovers that an old enemy is alive from the Time War, and that is the Daleks. Yes, a whole fleet of them wondering how the hell they survived. And then, of course, the Daleks also have Rose hostage. And then, of course, in part 2 of the story, The Parting of the Ways, the Doctor faces the Daleks and wonders how they survived till he makes the discovery of the Dalek Emperor. Now, of course, the Doctor, is he willing to sacrifice himself and all of humanity to stop the Daleks in the far future? So, and also in this, Rose, of course, she refuses to say goodbye to the Doctor when he sends her back to her time, and she opens the heart of the TARDIS and looks into it. And then next thing, she goes back and saves the Doctor and uses the power of the vortex to save him and destroy the Daleks and the Emperor. Okay, so let's get on to... Oh, and then, of course, it causes the Doctor makes the sacrifice by taking the vortex and putting it into himself by kissing her. And then putting it back into the TARDIS. Okay, let's get on to the likes and the dislikes on this. So, what did I like about this? Well, first of all, I like Christopher Eccleston in this. I thought he was a great Doctor, and to see him go only after one series, it was unfortunate. I do wish he could have stayed on for another series, but obviously he wanted to avoid being typecast, and yet he's typecast. But yes, I love the final show he gave in this. I mean, Yeah, he was a brilliant Doctor, but I think David Tennant is slightly better because he became the Doctor of my generation. So what else can I tell you on this that I liked? I loved the regeneration as well, and I thought this was kind of exciting as well because we were a whole new generation of kids that didn't know what regeneration was. So to be introduced to that in the first series, it kind of did explain how the Doctor has changed over the years. And then I discovered that it's something that's happened in the past many times before. Yes. Because like I said, I can remember seeing Paul McGann regenerate into Sylvester. I can remember seeing Sylvester McCoy regenerate into Paul McGann. So, yeah, I like that whole aspect. I also liked how David Tennant ended it. Now, for me, when I first saw this, I was like, wow, that is cool. How a character can physically change himself, yet remain the same character. And I thought that was, well, like the Ninth Doctor said, fantastic. So yeah, I love the whole character of the Doctor in this two-parter. I also like John Barrowman in this as Captain Jack Harkness. He was funny and very cheesy. And, he was just a fun character, that guy. And I liked the comedy he brought into it with Trini and Susanna when he was on Not What to Wear. And also, I thought it was funny Rose being on the weakest link, and if you don't win, you get disintegrated. Because it's the android. Here's a fact for you. They actually got Anne Robinson, Trini and Susanna and Davina McCall to voice the droids of who they were in the game shows and reality shows that they were in. So, next we also have the Daleks. I like the Daleks. I mean, before this, I'd only ever seen one Dalek, but to see a whole fleet of them, I mean, not actual Daleks, they were like salvaged from human DNA and that, and stuff by the Dalek Emperor. I like the Dalek Emperor. I'm thinking, is he Davros? But he's not. The Emperor Dalek is the Emperor of Daleks. And I thought that was cool. He looked like the the leader that he was meant to be. And that. But we had no recognition of Davros. That would be until Series 4 with David Tennant. I also like Billie Piper in this as Rose. I found it good that she was staying on for another series. But yeah, it was a good finale, and I think throughout Russell T Davies's run as showrunner, I think his finales did get better and better as each series went on. Except for the specials. I'll explain all that in the next one, in the 10th Doctor and that. But the 9th Doctor finale, I thought it was a great way to end the first series, and they were going to do a second series, and I was excited about that. I heard it would also feature the return of the Cybermen, and we would also have the 10th Doctor. So we went from a new Doctor to a new Doctor. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed this finale. And the regeneration was amazing for me. And I also think it was one of the best regenerations that we've had in this modern era. Yeah, definitely one of the best ones, I would say, with the beams and everything. So anyway, final thoughts and ratings. I thought that Bad Wolf and the Parting of the Ways was a great story. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a shame to see Christopher Eccleston go, but good to see David Tennant because he quickly grew on me. So with all that being said, I'm going to give, I'm giving this two-part finale again 5 out of 5. So that has been my first and last review on the 9th Doctor. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. And all my social media links are down below in the description. So till next time, run for your life.